I'm Tibaba, director of Studio 23, and I'm here to show you how we shot Manjelala music video, Young Shark featuring FadLan. I am going to answer all the questions you've had about the video and address all the concerns you might have about the video. In Yellow Shark comes and chang the making of video ma. Then that kanasham, then that tilsham halal, then that the bansham. Boz oka to that user pyong or big pyong. Design addressing video on phone. And most especially the simple cinema, because then that surprise most people. But I understand why I got in simple. When sharp about the simple dancers ma, come in the pump. They be bam bang the tiana when shazang plus some power up ma. So ti pag some pama wapshe. No way I been shaw. Tenda nang video ma come mini pregale. They almost so come that bam bang the lab and cut no video ma food ma. So to chama.
Flames on the beat.
Young Shaq. Manjelala.
So just a little backstory on how the whole Manjelala music video came about. They sent the song to me. I just listened to it like maybe a couple of minutes, and if you know Young Shark, you know how confrontational he can be. So he just came over to the studio. I was like, Tibaba. So video ma wakayan bumbu bang some kind. I just looked at him and said, Ianzala Sampa. He thought I was joking. I was like, I was like, no. Then use like yellow. He still thought I was joking. But after I sent him the treatments, he was convinced and also agreed we were going to do something different like this. But the whole concept was, this is I'm a piano. And I'm a piano in a way is like some people's identity. Because if you hear I'm a piano, the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, it's a South African sound. And here we are in Tamale, doing I'm a piano in Dagbani. So I wanted to do something which would give it a bit of our identity. Because as a filmmaker, I strive to let my stories somehow project our identity as a people. The same way an Indian director will use his medium to project his culture, I strive to do same. So anytime I am working on a project, I don't usually want to think very far away from myself. I want to stay authentically me by first thinking about where I'm coming from, what is our true identity, and of course fuse it with the contemporary vibes out there. So that is why we chose the theme of Simpa to make it the masterpiece that it is right now. Okay, so just this first scene, people are asking, why were the girls covered up? Yeah, why not? But the motivational factor behind we covering these girls was purely to hide their identity. Because Tamalambongo, so coming on the bench, okay, Wula Kambo and Taha, Wula Kabambongo and Lehema, Mborno Bambongo and Nyala Mala, be Mborno Bambongo, be Njena Bambongo and Nam for Ugal and Yama. So when it comes to music videos, when you are scouting even models, dancers, whatsoever, mostly our ladies, they are always shy. They don't want to take part in the project because people will tag them as bad or prostitutes or whatever derogatory word they have out there. And in this scene, I wanted to expose more than the usual, because in the music scene, we all know, of course, it is business and you would want to grab people's attention. And the most commonest and cheapest way to grab people's attention at get-go is to show a little more skin. So that's what I wanted to do, to get people's attention before I present to them what I have in stock. So this is why that was even starting. And if some of you are going to be honest, so you see, if you look at the cut here, see here is cut, but here is not. And the reason is because when we give out the orders for the costumes, it was for them to come already like cut even up till these levels, right? But when they showed up on set, it was almost like somebody's school uniform. So I told them, no, this is not what I wanted. I communicated to you the kind of dress you wanted to do, and this is why you told me you wanted to even cover it up. They knew the scene was going to be a bit exposed. And also, when you think about the idea of covering up and making them a bit mysterious, it was a cool vibe for me. So I said, why not? Let's go for it. If you would show the skins and still give me some nice vibe out there, why not, you know? So I agreed for them to cover up, but I said I would cut more and more of these shots. And that's what I did. So after cutting this first one, this first lady, she got scared and she refused. She even threatened not to shoot the video because this was showing too much. And if I cut this other one, probably will be showing more things than we're supposed to show. She literally said that, she even mentioned some words I can't say right now, that if we cut this one, there will be nothing around here and something will be showing. So, okay, I'm also human and I understand ladies. So I said, no, I don't want to do something that you are not comfortable with. So if you don't want us to cut, we can still move on with the video. These are not professional dancers, but they agreed they will do it. And I thank them. I can't say their names. I would have given them a shout out, but they want their identity hidden. And that is how it is going to stay. I wanted dancers. Young Shark and his people said they would organize ham for us, and man, they brought me some of the laziest dancers I've ever worked with. These guys were not giving me the vibe I wanted. You know, I don't know if they were gotten for free or they were compensated because I didn't handle that part. But all I know is these guys were not giving me the vibe I wanted. But I could warla some vinyawa. I know I always want to appreciate my talents when they do a good job, but when they don't bring out their best, I think it's only right we point it out as well, because I was not really impressed with their dance. But you know, since we had no other option, we had to move on with what they got. I had to lead like, I had to try so hard to get out the best out of these guys, to try to get the right shot. And this is what we ended up getting, you know, especially this lady. I was really happy for her because I want to see girls also up in there doing things that most of the people around my community think girls can't do, especially dance. In the dancing, you don't usually see ladies coming up front. So when she was around, I really wanted her to really prove a point. The shot most people are talking about, our stadium shot. This particular shot was done at the Tamale Sports Stadium. I'm not kidding. Okay, I'm kidding just a little bit. Okay, I'm kidding totally. This was purely VFX. We did not go to any stadium. We just did it within our studio premises. And the idea behind it was that this was actually an idea from Nabila. Shout outs to you, Nabs. While coming up with ideas that would support our simple scenes, we're just thinking a little out of the box. Okay, what do we add? What do we add? So while standing there within the studio, Nabila took his phone and just took a picture from like upward down towards his legs. And he was like, okay, so director, what if we do a scene where like we have young Shark with people's legs around him? So this way the legs would be like giant legs, and he would just be little in the middle there. Pardon my drawing. Then young Shark would be here. So that was the original idea. But after, like, you know, when he suggested it and I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that's cool. But you know what? Let me try to spice it up a bit. Instead of him being like in between legs, I would find something else. And that's how come I came about with the idea of having him in the center of the football field. Then I knew I would do some effects to make it sell more. And this was just a stock footage. It's even a still picture. This is just a picture, not even a video, that I animated and did some VFX in After Effects just to get you this particular effect. And I'm glad people are really loving it, because people thought we used drone. No, this was not shot on a drone. This is purely with our camera and some green screen effects.
Mama, since 1960, oh, she dey give me 0 minutes. When
Young Shark, very talented singer, and I think with the right promotions, these guys will do something. Young Shark is his own costumier, man. I told him about the scene and the vibe I wanted, and he told me to say no more. He was going to style himself, and he showed up with this crazy outfits and stuff, and I think it was a vibe. I liked it, and so we just went with it. And I don't know if that was some lion skin or some whatever, but it was a vibe with his cool shoes right there. Yes, only musicians can wear shades at night, man. See how dark it is, and this guy is rocking some shit. Yeah. Yes, and our master. So our simple setup, it was just something simple. This was just done behind our studio, like some yellows here. Then our dancers, we had them line up 3 here, 3 here. Then our artists would be moving up and down here. And of course, these lightings were not by accident. We had to get them manually. This was done by our electrician, Jadon 1, J, Anambe Shakam. I would have wished for more bulbs and lightings around here, but after budgeting it, we could not really afford to fill the whole area with all these bulbs, because you can see there's like empty space here. There should have been some at least, and then there should be some going here. This way it will illuminate the whole scene much better than what it is right now. But you know, since the barest minimum could still work for us, we just decided to go with it and not really waste any time. When I told Young Shark about what I wanted, how I wanted the costumes to be, he told me he would handle it. He knows his tailors, they'll go around and do it. So yeah, he made it a bit more modern than I wanted, but it was still a vibe. So we had to go, because I like the whole bob guy around the waist thing, and then the suspenders, and even the shoes were polishable shoes. Yes, that's the term I remember from back in the day when I was in nursing school. So you can wear any shoe, it has to be polishable shoe. But our extras, these were just some friends of Young Shark we invited over. Like this lady, I think we have somebody standing here, Scary, and there's another dude standing around here. These were people Young Shark I wanted us to use to shoot another scene, because remember I told you we're going to even drive the yellows around. We're not just going to have them static like this. It was going to be another scene where we would enter yellows and drive around. And the theme was going to be somehow the 80s, like the oldies, sort of the oldies fashion. But of course, due to timings and then budget, we could not arrange that particular thing, because we kept trying and we were not able to come to an agreement in terms of budget for the yellows and even the timings for the guys. So you know, as a filmmaker, sometimes what you have in your head might not work, but you have to be thinking on your feet. You have to improvise things, you have to switch things up to get what you want. So I said, why not? Let's just bring them here and feature them as part of this particular scene. And while driving the yellows, we were going to have this top cut off. They were going to screw and open the top of the yellow, so we would have it only the halfways, and we would drive around that serious tamale vibe, sort of with la chamso kuraman, brown chamso man, real tamale hood man. But like I said, due to like financial constraints, we could not get this particular scene set up. Our simple dancers. You can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes, I want to quiz you to guess which of these dancers is not a female, because these are not all ladies dancing. We all know this part of the simple dance where they do the shaking is done by ladies, but one of these our dancers is not a lady. It is actually a guy. My guy Suleimana, who was very instrumental in the making of this video, got us a lead who could organize the dancers. So for me, I actually trusted the whole process and knew everything was going to go on well, right? Initially, they promised me, oh, we'll bring like a whole track of dancers. But on the D-Day, when everything was all set, he brought these young ladies, and there were only 5, but I needed 6 because, you know, for the symmetry. So we still decided, okay, how do we get an additional person? Then Suleimana said, but this guy, you also dance the simple Sam. And at first I was shocked. I was like, really? Like a guy dances simple? They said, yeah, and he even dances more than the ladies. I was like, that's a vibe. I even liked that idea better. And that's how my guy got into his element and joined them. So I'll actually quiz you, because I will not just give it to you that easy. I would quiz you to tell me which of these numbers is actually the guy. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? Write down your answer in the comment section and tell me who you think among these dancers is the male guy. Who is the male guy? Our train station scene. A lot of people don't realize this is a train moving. It is a stock footage of a train, right? That is in motion. And what I did was to increase the speed and then increase the motion blurs. But those of you who know how train works will probably know, yeah, this is also a train. But this was a green screen thing. We did not go to any train station. This was shot within our studios at Studio 23. And this, I think I should do a tutorial later on how to just do the simple effects for those of you who would like to know how we pull this off. Yeah, if there's time, probably we'll do a tutorial or even a VFX breakdown on how the whole thing happened. So again, which of these our dancers is a male? So shout outs to everybody who contributed to the making of this video, from our dancers to our models to our friends who came and showed their support, and our artists who brought out their A games, and all the Studio 23 crew, man. And big shout outs to my Gumani people for coming out to show us love, because they came and made the whole sympathy more realistic. These guys were not casted, they were not paid, they just came like, you know, out of love. So that's how we put together the Manjelala video. So if you have any question regarding the video and how it was shot, please leave it in the comment section and I will try my best to answer them. And that was Manjelala, shot and directed by Studio 23, led by me, Tibaba. Like I said, I'm going to try to do these breakdowns from time to time. So you guys should subscribe so that you don't miss any upcoming video. To the subscriber. I'm out. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.